What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, and today we're going to be talking about Cosmic Crucible Season 15, the defense that I'm going to be using for round number 1, probably week 1 entirely. But yeah, so we have a lot of different room rules, some that we saw during U32. So we saw combat support during, or the U16. We saw combat support during the U16. We also saw spore attacks. Thank the Lord and everybody above, aka your envoys, for saying, hey, don't do the raid room for an entire season because that's yucky. So you're welcome for that not happening. So no raid room. So we got 4 rooms that we have not seen before. So Thunderbolt related room, Dorky's broken headset, negative energy, and then a room we have seen before, aggroed. So we're going to start there. So on defense and offense, all characters on turn, if character has taunt, gain offense up. On turn, apply offense. Apply assist now to all allies with offense up. So my thought here is use Guardian, right? Let's put Guardian in here. We're doing the good old Immortal bait here. So Emma stops Immortal because Omega Sentinel will stun 2 of Immortal. Now, can Immortal still brute force this? Kinda, but the thing is, it's RNG, and I'm not a fan of RNG, so a lot of people are also not fans of RNG, so if they see this, they may not want to contend with that. So this will be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what people are going to throw in here. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more damage coming out as well, because Guardian is going to give offense up to everybody, so on turn, you're going to be applying assist now to everybody, so technically, everybody's going to be hitting unless you take away those offense ups. So that's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see if you just come in and Omega Sentinel ults and then everybody else hits that person that she targeted with the ult and then you're just dead. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be exciting. I'd like to see that. So a little bit of an interesting room. I'm curious to see if people are just going to put like new stats in here and just have like an offense up and then it's just like super tanky people hitting over and over and over again. Another team that could be pretty good in here is Vigilante, because Vigilante does get offense up from a lot of things. Obviously, Daredevil Modern also has Taunt, so he's going to be getting offense up. So they could apply this room rule pretty well, and they also work well with the global room rules as well, because they're a Harbinger. So on successful hit, if the primary target has trauma, perform an ISO attack against that target. So they could be pretty good here as well, but we're going to come over to room number 1. So on offense and defense, Fortifier and Healer characters on hit apply 1 vulnerable up to 20. Striker characters on hit apply 3 vulnerable up to 20. And then all other characters apply 2 vulnerable. So I'm putting Vigilante in here because I've seen them do some absolutely off-the-wall stuff. And when I mean off-the-wall stuff, I mean Silver Sable presses 1 button when she gets like 8 vulnerables, and she deletes a Mephisto, Black Knight, Odin, just all one-shot. And it's kind of nuts. So you could absolutely keep Vigilante for offense, specifically for this room. But what I think is going to happen is people are going to put things in this room that Vigilante can't take out and do that cheese. So a lot of people are going to be avoiding that, and that's what I'm avoiding by putting just Vigilante in here. Other options you could put in here, I really, really liked my Thanos Endgame, Phoenix Force, Doctor Strange +1 that I used during U16. That did really, really well throughout most of the tournament, which was really fun. I really liked that room. So that's absolutely an option. So you could do that. Other options are just big characters that soak up a lot of hits and go slow and get all those vulnerables. And then guess what? There's like a Jean Grey that comes in and specials and deletes everybody. I'm going to put that clip in right now because somebody sent me a clip of Jean Grey specialing in this room and deleting everybody. So I'm going to put that in right now so you guys can see that and laugh with me. And yeah, that's things that can definitely work because the room rules are extremely, extremely powerful. So that's combat support. I'm going to stick with Vigilante in here. You could absolutely change the ISOs around to benefit a little bit more, but I'm going to keep Striker on Elektra because of the negative zone Striker that I ended up running. You should check out that video if you're having problems with that, by the way. Let's go. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Let's go to Spore Attack. So on offense and defense, all characters do damage that reduces the max health of the target by the same amount. Increase max health damage by 50%. So I'm just putting Starjammers in here because I need something on defense to soak up Starjammers. So I'm just going to put this here and they're going to have to mirror it. So screw you. You're going to mirror. Haha. And the mirror is efficient. It's fine. I have seen the mirror lose before. It's just fascinating. Yes, really. So it is what it is. But I'm going to keep the Starjammers in here because I want to keep a lot for offense this week because I really want to figure out what is going to be good where, and then slowly move things more towards defense. So I'm definitely going to be in an efficiency battle to begin week 1. So that's going to be kind of the goal of this defense. Rule number 3, negative energy on offense and defense. All characters, special abilities cost 4 less ability energy, and then on successful critical hit, reduce targets ultimate ability energy by 1. So this room is interesting because I'm not sure exactly how it works. So I'm curious if abilities that hit more than one time are going to reduce ultimate ability energy more than once, or if it's only capped to 1 because it says successful critical hit. But what I'm wondering is if it's like Daredevil Modern using the special and crits 3 times, because I think it hits 3 times, does that mean 3 energy is being taken away? I'm going off of the assumption that it is. So what I'm going to do Annihilators with Super Scroll and Pav. So my thought with Pav is Pav goes super fast, speed up on spawn, obviously. He's going to special, and he's going to rebound chain and bounce around. And again, my assumption is he's going to be stealing energy every single time he crits on those rebound chains. And I think he rebound chains, what, like 4 or 5 times or something like that? Which is kind of nuts if you think about it. Super Scroll, obviously, really, really quick here. And what's going to happen is, obviously, we have Annihilator stopping Cabal from coming in here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, absolutely. What can happen is good old Immortal can come in and do good things here, right? Absolutely, they can. But that's fine with me if they want to bring in Immortal, because what can happen is Pav can hit really, really hard, take away some ultimate energy, and then they might not be able to get to their ults when they're used to on turn 2. So that could be interesting, and I'm curious to see what ends up happening here. Also, I think a lot of people are going to try to use Immortal in Room 1, so that's another issue that I think they're going to have to contend with, or potentially Room 5, or maybe even Room 6. Probably not Room 6, but Room 5. Before the Thunder, so on offense and defense, Thunderbolt characters. When this character is attacked, generate 1 ability energy, gain 100% crit chance, and 300% focus. And they're getting the bonuses from the Harbinger because they're also Harbingers. So this is kind of a double whammy for Thunderbolts, which is interesting. I really like. And yeah, I'm going to feed into it. We're going to do Phoenix Force with Thunderbolts. So I'm curious to see how good they do before we get the full team. My plan is to core Hyperion on, I think it's the 23rd, so probably the day that you're seeing this, which is Friday. My plan is to core Hyperion and then core Victoria Hand as well. I might end up putting the full team in here. What I also might end up doing is doing like a Null Shadow King something in here with Phoenix Force still, and just treating it like a blank room. And then keeping Thunderbolts for offense, because I think they will be pretty good, especially with the global rule that helps them out, and especially with this specific room that helps them out. So I'm curious to see how people are going to manage this room and see if they try to use Thunderbolts here and try to take out a Phoenix Force, because guess what? Phoenix Force is still extremely, extremely annoying. So I'm curious to see how people are going to navigate this. They might want to use Immortal here, and also in room 3, put them in a little bit of a bind, which will be good. And then finally, room number 6, Dorky's Broken Headset on offense and defense. All characters on turn end, remove Safeguard and Trauma from all characters. Now, I wonder if that's a full stack of Safeguard and or Trauma, like if there's 2 Safeguards and Trauma or whatever it is, if it removes 1, or if it's removing all of them. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm curious to see, because that is going to change it up a little bit, because if you're putting multiple traumas out there and extending it with like a Scarlet Witch, that could be pretty interesting. But team that does well against Safeguard, obviously, or against Trauma that was getting countered a bunch, is going to be Night Stalkers with Dorm. So what was happening here is Spider Weaver was coming in and being able to stun Blade, obviously after 2099 comes in and gives her the turn meter, but that trauma is going to be going away at the end of the turn. And then you're not going to be able to keep trauma on this team. So to like put trauma slow out there, you're not going to be able to keep that on this team, because trauma is continually getting removed at the end of every single character's turn. So that's going to feed into the Blade passive that is flipping 2 random negative effects on, I think it's 2 Night Stalker allies every single turn anybody takes. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. I'm also very excited to use my overpowered shiny new blade with gear tier 20. Amazing, I know. Super happy about that. So I'm curious to see if maybe he's going to delete somebody. Other things you could run in here, definitely don't run Phoenix Force in here because the room rules do what Phoenix Force does passively, which is stopping the trauma. I don't know. I think this is going to be kind of a blank room, unfortunately. I don't see really crazy ideas coming in here other than maybe like things that have safeguards. So like Mephisto won't be really good in here. So maybe you could bring in like Mephisto because then his trauma is going to be really negated that he's putting out. And the safeguard that he's putting on his team is also negated. So maybe like putting a team in here that's going to be a Mephisto bait and it's not going to be that good could be interesting. But I don't know. I mean, how many teams are you baiting Mephisto into, right? Like, there's not many. So I don't know how well that's going to go. But overall, I'm okay with these room rules. I think the only one that's really, really interesting is 3. And I really hope it works the way I think it does. So like rebound chains, remove 1 ultimate ability energy over and over and over and over and over again, because that would be awesome. And you could really, really feed into that really, really well. That would be cool. And then room number 1, I'm really curious to see what people keep coming up with. I know we had this in U16, but this room is going to be really, really cool over and over and over again. So I like room 1. I think it's awesome. I love when they do things with ISO, vulnerables, stuff like that. So that's really, really fun. Also, a thing about room 1 is Cabal does not do very well into Vigilante because they have block chance, and blocks means you don't crit. So that's a problem as well. Room number 4, you could absolutely do some like mythic soup in room number 4, right? You absolutely could. That's a thing. I know a lot of people have been doing like Odin or Mephisto or Professor X or Mephisto and Professor X, and like Emma, Captain Britain, and like a pre-taunt was a big thing to put in here, or like Shadow King to throw in here as well. And that's absolutely an option. But again, I want as much for offense as I can right now because I want to test the waters, see what people are using. Now, I'm not going to make an offense video because I'm going to be on vacation this weekend. So you're actually not going to see any of my Crucible attacks this weekend. I know, I suck. I'm sorry. But I'm going on vacation for the holiday. So for offense, I have so much stuff for offense. I have Odin, I have Mephisto, I have Kahori, which she's kind of useless in every single room, except for room 3, which I guess Kahori could do well in here with the special being able to be used. Wow, that's going to be interesting. Kahori's going to be able to special 2 turns in a row, so that could be pretty interesting. Didn't think about that until just now. Kahori could be pretty interesting. I have Odin. I still have all of Astral, if I'm not mistaken. I have all of Astral, so awesome there. All of Astral. I have Orcus, except for Omega Sentinel, which she's usually dropped. Mephisto. I have Mighty Avengers, Immortal, APOC, Old Man Logan, Ares, Spider Society. Yep, they were meta in the U16 because of the raid room. I have full Illuminati as well. Superior 6, Kang, Cabal, Void Knight, Null. I have so much stuff on offense, so I have no issues. Full clearing here, and obviously as the weeks progress, we're going to continue to put more and more on defense until we're a dirty turtle as per usual. But I like to have fun on the first couple days of Crucible, and I love seeing what ends up happening. We also hopefully just got the brackets. Maybe. No, matchmaking's in 4 hours. They lied to me. That's okay. Matchmaking's in 4 hours. Hopefully I get matched with some pretty cool people. I'd love to. That would be fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.